Cheers! So, a beer golem. And that will include a great way to make barrels, of course. So with no further ado, let's get on it. I found out that 4mm width is a good measure for the planks for the barrels in this craft. But that is of course a matter of taste. Put a thin layer of glue on the backside to strengthen the balsa. And when the glue is dry, take an X-Acto knife and cut out the planks. Be careful so you don't cut through the glue. Make a track with a pointy but blunt tool on the glue side. You do not want to cut through the glue. Bend with the help of the ruler. Be careful. You only want to bend the fibers, not break them. Cut in 5mm all the way through to separate the boards, so it makes it possible to cut away bits of the edges. Decide the width of the barrel with the number of planks. Glue the edges together. You might want to hold it in place for a minute or two to get a good joint. Use the divider tool to make the bottom and the lid for the barrel. Always use sandpaper in the crafts to make the finish look better. To get the lid on place, I used 2 needles to stop it from falling down the barrel when I glued it. I like to make wood veins this way, but one can also use a regular steel brush for the job. If you're here for the barrel crafting only, don't forget the steel straps on the kegs. I use rough watercolor paper for that. And don't forget to check out my playlist, Barrels Chest Crates, for more tips and tricks. I did the barrel head out of picture. I think it's enough if I show how to do barrels one time in this video. So this is a beard for the golem, but of course the head is something one can make in 1,000 different ways. And if you do as me and don't glue the head on place, you can do more than one head and change between them. I would also recommend to use magnets for the arms in this kind of crafts, so it makes it possible to do a few modifications with the figure when it's done. Steel rings made of steel wire with an orange pearl in the middle made the eyes. Make a hole in the neck and put a toothpick in it, and the head is nearly finished. Now it's time for the backpack cage brewer, and when you have cut out all the holes, give it an extra stroke of glue on the backside. Makes it more durable when working it. A few discs before attaching the joints. Remember magnets at this part if you decided to go with that. So, the lid for the backpack cage brewer. When you carve it out, be sure to make straight edges or else it won't fit. For a while I was entertaining the thought that I might have a wheel on top as a lock mechanism, but I decided for a simple handle. In retrospect, I wished I thought about magnets from the beginning of this build, but you can be sure to see that implemented in my future crafts. Like a glove! This piece of plastic when painted will mimic beer when put into the brewer. Wood glue is the only glue I would recommend when working in balsa. I got a glue gun, but to be honest I don't use it very much these days. Not even when I'm crafting in cardboard or styrofoam. Special glue for styrofoam, of course. Now this. I was first thinking of having movable joints, but I scrapped that idea for now. But I also want to mention that the movable base helped me find a good pose for the figure, so it wasn't all in vain. This sure took a chunk of my patience when I did them. I think I ended up doing more than I actually used in the craft. As we say in Sweden, gör om och gör rätt. Do it again and do it right. For the ends of the joints I use small pearls to look like bolts. Use bits of a clip as pins when putting the golem together if you don't go for the magnets. Even if it gets a layer of Mod Podge, the joints can be a bit fragile, if not strengthened with a pin. The barrels for the lower leg turn out as an exact match to the round stuff I am using, so it helped me when I glued the ends together. The hands and feet is built in small pieces glued together, one piece at a time. No need to hurry. Get it into the barrel and glue pieces on each side so it's still movable. Don't glue it on place until you are sure about the pose. Here I use thin steel wire to make the tubes to the arms and legs. I make 2 layers to the legs to make them thicker. This is the base for the golem. I made it a bit bigger than it actually needed to be, just so I can add and change things like barrels, chests, crates or skulls, etc. later on. I measure out the floorboards in different widths to make it more realistic, and I am cutting out the fibers with the X-Acto before I start working each board. For a better view and explanation how I do it, I link a video up in the corner. Check it out from the timestamp 2:26. And also, lead for the eyes and in the brewer is an idea if you have them. I'm still buying materials and resources for my craftings. One don't always have what's needed. But that should not stop you from doing this craft even greater if you have the means. So remember, magnets and LED lights will make this golem shine even more on the gaming table. And with that, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my crafts, sculptings or painting. And if you want to support my channel, you can do it by share, like and leave a comment. Most appreciated. Cheers for future crafts.